Alright guys, finally got my hands on the Frost Monster. I know many people were calling this initially the Ice Monster, but Frost Monster better captures what this watch really looks like. And I know there's already a bunch of them in circulation, so they're getting tons of exposure already, but so happy to actually have one on the channel. Thanks to Bruce Williams for sending these over. He got them from Kenta at japanonlinestore.com. I'll put a link down into the description of this video, and that is a really good source for your JDM Seiko models. And I mean, he's got a bunch of other brands and everything too, but certainly for all the JDM Seiko fans, that's a really good source to purchase them from. So let's talk about this guy. This is the sbdc073, Ice Monster, or like I said, Frost Monster is really what it should be called. I'm going to bust out the dimensions. I know, most of these colorways that these monsters come out in now, I just kind of show you the monster, the new color, and I talk about it. I don't really, revisit the size. And I think it's important to talk about that because that's one of the things that make the monster so great. One, the size, and then, of course, the overall value that you're getting. Even at today's current market prices, I still think this watch is an amazing value. But you're only, the width on this guy is only 42.5 millimeter, really. It's right in there, 42.5, give or take, the smaller numbers after the 5. So lug to lug, though, 47.6, and you do have nice drilled lugs on this guy. So super short, compact. It's going to make it wear really good. Plus you have that bracelet that just kind of folds right over. And then there's aftermarket bracelets that'll easily look good on this because you're basically going to have that straight end link. You're not dealing with the fitted case bracelet or anything like that. It's only 13 millimeter thick. There's a lot of Seiko divers and other divers in general that are much thicker than that. And for the monster to look like it does and still only be 13 millimeter, again, I think that's important. So 20 millimeter lug width, but you can tell one of the main things that Monster or Seiko did with the Monster is that, yeah, it's 20 mil, but really this part of the bracelet is 22. So you have like a millimeter on each side that kind of flares out. So it gives it a better, I think, match to the case when you're dealing with a bracelet. So let's toss this guy on wrist real quick. I'm wearing the Borealis bronze guy here. I wear that today on the watch steward strap. Super comfortable. So this thing's going to be probably Bruce loose on me, but it should be close enough. So you can see there on my 7.25 inch wrist. Again, I mean, Monsters are 100% my favorite watch still. It's a sweet spot. So always a pleasure putting on a Monster, that's for sure. So pretty standard affair, just like all of the Monsters. You have a nice stamped out case, or stamped out bracelet clasp, excuse me, for micro adjust. I really am a big fan of these. It's double pusher, fold over clasp, very simple and slim line. And you guys all know that you play with this. Like we love playing with these things. They just, that sound, So screw down crown, 200 meter water resist, all that good stuff. These new colorways all have 6R15s in them. You're going to have the, hate it or love it. You're going to have the magnified date window there. I'm kind of digging it. Like, it actually works. I don't know what the magnification is exactly, but it's got to be, it's definitely more than 1.5. I don't know if it's 2. It's got to be somewhere in there. So it's a decent magnification, enough that it definitely helps. So 120 click bezel. And these are like my preferred. That is a nice, smooth, but stiff Seiko bezel. I like that. That is very well done. So let's take a look at the dial, because that's ultimately on this particular watch, that is going to be the killer feature on this guy. Of course, you have the polished surrounds on the indices, and then that polished handset pairs really nice. I know in some lights it's probably going to be slightly difficult to get a good read on the time, but honestly, I would say 50% of the time or more when we look down at this watch, we're probably looking at the dial anyway, not really where the hands are pointing. So You got a really good clean print on there. You can see that dial is textured and in all different directions. That's why I think the Frost nickname is a better way to go, because it just plays with the light so crazy. And then that outer chaptering, if you look, it's almost, I don't want to say glittery, but I don't know what else to describe it as. And you definitely have some like light blue hues to it, like you would have in like a really clean Frost or Ice. So I guess we could maybe say we have an Ice chapter and a Frost center, maybe. I don't know. Pretty slick, really well done for sure. And I like that they actually used black on the inlay on there. I think if they would have done like blue or anything else, it would have just been a bit much. So I think it's already a lot to take in at this level with the polished handset and the indices and that Frost dial. So it didn't need any more. It already has plenty brought to the table with its design features. So really, really nicely done. So hopefully this video will help you decide if the Frost Monster is something that you want. Because although, in my opinion, it kind of has like a feminine color look to it, it, you know, leans that way more so than like a bloody tooth monster, if you will. But it's so masculine in its overall design. You know, the Seiko Monsters never, I don't care if you put a pink dial in this thing, it's still going to look masculine enough just because of the case. So I would think so. What do you guys think? So, you know, which colorway is your favorite? I had to do this Frost one because it is so dynamic. But I have to be honest with you guys, it's definitely not my favorite. I think it's really cool, and I think it's cool in the way that I think a lot of other Seiko Monsters are really cool, but it's not something that I personally would buy. I think if I was full on collecting them, which although it looks like I am, most of these are not mine. I take that back. Most of these are mine. Some of these are not mine. That's a more accurate statement. So I don't know that I'm really collecting monsters, but I have the colorways of the monster line that I personally like and wanted to add into my collection. So if this is one that you guys are really digging, then absolutely go for it. You will not be disappointed. I think it's a very cool model. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. And again, thanks to Bruce for sending this one and the orange one in. I will be doing the video on that one real soon too. And again, thanks to Kenta over at JapanOnlineStore.com. I'll put a link in the description. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hold on. Can't have this many monsters on the table and not give you a loom shot. All right, guys. And monsters don't need any backlight either. They put off enough light. There you go. Monster loom. Hard to top that.